You see them everywhere, right? Those super fast-paced financial news updates that are just designed to stop your scroll. But have you ever stopped to wonder how they're actually made? Like, what's the recipe? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain and looking at the actual blueprint behind modern financial news. Let's get right into it. It always kicks off with a bang. You get this big, bold text, an urgent headline that's practically screaming for your attention. And then bam, the number. It's always a huge, dramatic figure that gives you this instant jolt of information and makes it feel, well, significant. Then another headline hits, just to keep that momentum going. It's a totally different story, but it's got that same high-impact, rapid-fire delivery. And of course, a super simple, clean visual to make the data feel real and easy to get in, like half a second. But wait a second. Okay, let's just pause right here. That whole sequence you just saw, that was a performance. It was meticulously crafted to grab you and not let go. But how does it actually work? What's the formula? That's exactly what we're here to deconstruct. So we actually got our hands on the source material, a creative brief for a show called Finance Pulse. This thing is literally the playbook. It lays out exactly how to create these updates. So today we're going to break it down piece by piece. Yeah, think of it just like a recipe. Every single ingredient, every instruction, it's all chosen for a very specific reason, to create a final product that's fast, engaging, and feels absolutely essential. So let's look at the first ingredient, the story itself. Okay, so in this ocean of endless market data, what actually makes the cut? Well, the blueprint is surprisingly specific about this. Just notice the type of headlines chosen here. They're not subtle, are they? They're decisive. They focus on these huge, dramatic numbers like $70,000 or big sweeping events like new regulation. The goal here is to create simple, powerful stories that just slice right through the noise. And to make these big stories feel grounded, the blueprint says to focus on specific popular assets. By anchoring the whole update with names people already know, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, it becomes instantly relatable. You don't need to be a market analyst to understand that plus 5.2% is a good day for Bitcoin. Simple. Okay, so we've got the story. But how do you make it look and feel like breaking financial news? Now we're getting to the visuals, and this is where it really comes together. The blueprint explicitly calls for this color scheme. And you gotta ask why? Well, it's because these colors communicate a very specific vibe. The blue and black feel professional, serious. But that neon green, that adds a flash of tech, of digital energy. It says finance, but for the 21st century. And this gets to an absolutely crucial point. The goal isn't just to show you data, it's to make you feel the data. All the visuals are designed to transform boring old numbers on a page into a dynamic, exciting spectacle. I mean, this is a perfect example, right? A complex topic like market share could be presented in a really dense, boring table. But instead, the blueprint demands animated charts like this one. It's instantly understandable, it looks cool, and it makes the information feel way more active and alive. You know, all these little elements, the color scheme, the stock tickers, the animated graphs, they all form this kind of shared language. When you see them, your brain immediately goes, oh, okay, I'm watching financial news. Creators use this visual shortcut to communicate authority and urgency without even saying a word. So you've grabbed the viewer's attention with a great story and some slick visuals. Now for the hard part. How do you keep them there for the whole 5 minutes? Don't worry, the blueprint has a formula for that too. It's really like a multi-sensory attack. The fast pacing of the information keeps you from looking away. There's usually some subtle, techie background music that creates this mood of constant forward motion. And that little logo, always in the corner, that's reinforcing the brand, building a sense of familiarity and hopefully trust over time. And finally, the ending is never ever left to chance. The blueprint is very clear. You need a direct, straightforward call to action. It's not just a polite goodbye, it's a strategic move. It's designed to turn a one-time viewer into a loyal subscriber. This is the engine that grows the audience. So we've taken apart the Finance Pulse blueprint. We've seen how they choose the stories, how they design the visuals, and how they manufacture engagement. So what's the big picture here? Why does any of this matter? Well, here it is, the modern news recipe in a nutshell.
It's a formula built for clarity, speed, and stickiness. And honestly, you can see this exact blueprint being used not just in crypto, but pretty much across all digital media today.
Ultimately, what this blueprint really shows us is a much larger trend. In a world where we are drowning in information, the presentation is just as important as the content itself. This style is designed for pure efficiency, to deliver the main points in a way that respects our really limited time and attention. But this leaves us with a really critical question to chew on. This format is incredibly effective at giving us the highlights, right? But by optimizing everything for speed and simplicity, you have to wonder, what nuance, what complexity, and what important but maybe less flashy stories are we all missing out on? It's something to think about the next time you scroll.